I am at 118 North Market Street,
That's it.
first floor.
Yep.
Now with Mr. Rick Weldon, the president of our Frederick County Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for making time for me. This is our 100th show.
That's so neat.
And I have learned more about Frederick, and I've met more people than I thought I ever would.
So what's really cool about this is, in addition to being, it validates your thought, right? 100 episodes fully validates what you suspected. But not only have you learned things about Frederick that you didn't know, and you knew a lot about Frederick, all of your viewers, all of your listeners have also learned things about Frederick they couldn't possibly have known, that they wouldn't have gotten through any venue other than this one.
Yeah, it's been pretty great. It's been pretty great. Well, you are the king of business here in our county. And I just learned that you aspired to be in radio when you were in college.
Yeah, I did. I worked for Fran Coolis at WNRK in Newark, Delaware.
That's amazing. And then you realized how much or how little people in radio really make.
So it was two things. It was certainly that. This was in the mid-'70s. But it was also the idea that if you really wanted to make it a career, you were going to have to pack up
and
all your belongings
all the time.
Every 18 months to a bigger market to reestablish yourself. And that just felt too daunting to a
Other than our friend, the morning mayor, who has never had to do that. There's very few people. Very few people. Actually, I interviewed Lou Katz. Do you remember Lou?
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
And he was also able to stay within the D.C. market, which is very unusual. So yeah, my brother has moved all over the country several times over. So that's not a very good established way of life. So you went the business route.
I did.
You ended up as the mayor of Brunswick.
So not the mayor, but I had a better job than the mayor because I was the city administrator. So the mayor did mayoring as a hobby, right? In small towns, the mayors all have a full-time job, a life, and then they are the mayor when it's time to cut a ribbon and stuff. The city administrator, the public administrator, is the person who's at the service counter at the town hall when people come in with a problem. So
you were really doing the work.
Yeah, doing the work.
Without
without the glamour.
Without the glamour. And now you're doing the work, and you have a little bit of the glamour.
Dani, I tell everybody I talk to, I am the luckiest guy I know in Frederick County, because in the 30 couple years I've been here, I've gotten to be a town manager in a small town. A town manager in a big city here in the city of Frederick. I've served as a county commissioner. I served 2 terms in the Maryland House of Delegates. And now I get to run the Chamber of Commerce. It's almost like, really, I feel like I have lived a charmed life. Because I think everything that I've done before now was the predicate to teach me what I need to know to be the CEO of the chamber, right?
I say that every day. Every job, from bartending and waitressing to graphic design and marketing and owning my company, Tots to Tweens, every single thing I've done has made it possible and made it where I can be successful doing what I'm doing now.
So I have 6 grandsons.
Okay.
One is only a month old.
See, I've seen the pictures.
But one of them is 15 now. And when he was 10 years old, they all call me Go-Go. Because when he was just learning to talk, Grandpa was too hard, so it was Go-Go. And they still call me that.
I love it.
So when he was 10, he said, Go-Go, what do you do for a job? And so how do you explain CEO of a chamber to a 10-year-old? So here's what I said. I said, Logan, my job is to make small companies bigger, help small companies get bigger, and to help big companies make more money. You know what? At its simplest form, that's kind of what this is about. And when you look at this economy in Frederick County, honestly, I can't think of a better place on earth to be doing what I do than in this community. Because you've met them. Over the last 99 episodes, you literally have met them. The business community here is just amazing. These are people that are willing to take a little risk. They have big dreams. They understand that they have to be thoughtful in how they navigate. They have to be respectful of their customers. They have to value their employees. And when we wonder why the economy is booming in Frederick, it's those things.
It is those things. It is those things and many more. What is your biggest piece of advice for somebody starting out right now with an idea? What would you tell them they should be looking to do?
So I'll give you the same advice that I probably give a couple times a week. And it literally is that frequently, where somebody comes to me with a dream, right? A vision. They haven't really fleshed it out yet.
Yeah.
But they think they know what they want to do.
Yeah.
And what I say is the first thing you have to understand is it's not a simple process.
No.
For lots of reasons, right? Borrowing money, there are things you have to be able to do in order to go to a bank and borrow money. Understanding the market, how the market will respond to your dream, because just because you're passionate about it doesn't mean you're going to be able to find that line of customers that will line up for you when you do open your door. So the first step is that sort of, they call it a business plan, but it's really the mechanical part of taking your dream, turning it into a product or a service that you understand what your fixed costs will be. You can project what kind of revenue you're going to need to make to cover those fixed costs, whether you're going to operate out of your guest bedroom or converted garage, or you're going to go out into the commercial marketplace and try to find space.
Right.
So that initial business planning, and there's some incredible free resources to help people do that.
Yeah.
The Maryland Small Business Development Center, which operates out of this building, has free resources that they make available.
Yeah.
The Service Corps of Retired Executives, SCORE.
Yeah.
These are folks who have retired or are about to retire.
Yeah.
Who
They've done it.
100%, right?
They've
They've signed the front of a paycheck, and they know what it takes to get there.
Yeah.
And all of their advice, all the access to their knowledge.
Yeah, learn
Nothing.
Right, learn from their mistakes.
So that's the first step, is think that through, put it on paper, because when you do that, you can go to Woodsboro Bank or Middletown Valley Bank, right? Or ACMB or M&T or First United. And when you sit to talk to that business banker, you kind of have your ducks in a row.
Yes.
You have them formatted in a way that they feel comfortable, and you can access capital to get your idea turned into a product.
Well, people come to you a lot with these ideas.
A lot.
I know recently Maryland Double Deckers. I love that. I think that was so brilliant to bring that here to Frederick. I think they're going to do phenomenal things, but so many others as well. I mean, and you're kind of pinnacle in being the spotter for that.
And so everywhere I go. So this year I'm serving as the president of the Maryland Association of Chambers of Commerce.
Ooh.
So there's like 39 chambers
in
Maryland, county chambers and local chambers. Everywhere I go in this great state, and I go everywhere, every CEO of every chamber I talk to would give every single thing they have to have what we have.
I agree.
Every one of them. Eastern Shore, Southern Maryland, Western Maryland, Central Maryland, Baltimore, everywhere would give up the resources they think they value to have access to the kind of vibrancy and vitality we have.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's
and
really, really cool.
And we were talking earlier about the Nonprofit Alliance. So everybody looks at me and thinks, okay, private sector guy, right, the business guy. We track 65 sectors of the economy in our membership. Manufacturing, real estate, banking, financial services, legal services, carpentry, landscaping, right? 65 sectors. Do you know what the largest sector of my membership is that we track?
I'm going to guess nonprofits.
501c3 nonprofits.
We have so many here in Frederick County.
So here's the
How
secret.
many do we have?
So
do you know?
in my I think it's almost 800.
Okay.
And these range from, just a single individual who runs a nonprofit.
Who's doing something great,
to a big nonprofit like the YMCA or Hartley House or Frederick Health.
Yeah.
They're a 501.
Yeah.
So I tell everybody, look, our private sector is just booming, but our nonprofit sector is too. And why is that true? That's true because everybody who works in a business here in Frederick County also has a heart for vulnerable people in our community.
Yeah, it's
right?
unreal.
And our nonprofits can raise money when they need to. Look at Habitat and Blue Crabs and Blueprints. Just as one example that pops off the top of my head. Walk a mile in her shoes for Hartley House. When our nonprofit community needs the convening power of our community to help support vulnerable people, it's amazing,
People
Dani.
are lining up.
While it's open, right? People want to do good work because it makes us feel good but it also makes this community so incredibly special.
It is. Yeah, this community is phenomenal.
It is.
And so you found a good one and you stayed here. So you said you've been here 30 some years?
Yeah, I think so. Amy and I have been in Frederick County for, I think it's 37 years.
Wow, that's
And
nice.
I've been at the chamber, this is my 11th year at the chamber.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could stay here forever, right? It's like a Supreme Court justice right now.
I could.
But I don't think Amy's going to let you do that,
so
or
your
6 grandchildren.
So I'll be 66 in September, late
Okay.
September. And I feel like this is probably my hourglass, the sand, right? The sand is draining out of my hourglass because I think in a position like this is probably a younger woman or younger man's game. I do, and not because I think I'm slowing down.
Yeah,
I don't think that.
I don't think that
but
either. I think
being,
appreciate the opportunity you're going to give somebody else.
I'll
to bring
give you
a fresh
a great
perspective.
example. A great example is artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
If you're a chamber CEO, I don't care the size of your chamber, and you are not embracing AI tools to improve your business, the business of the chamber, you're missing the boat.
Yeah, I think so
right?
too.
And so these are technologies I'm struggling to learn at 65 that people that are in their 30s, maybe 40s, are already very comfortable with and have adapted to incorporating those tools. So I've told the board, 3 to 5 years, you probably ought to be thinking about what we look like without me part of the picture. And I think that'll give the folks in this community that aspire to do what I do a chance to learn how to do it, the mechanics of doing it, so that it's a smooth transition, because that's the tragedy. I've seen other places where that transition hasn't been smooth, and then you lose momentum.
Yeah.
And that would be catastrophic. I would never let that happen.
Yeah, you don't. It's like the Brett Favre. You know, you don't want to
100%.
overstay your welcome. You want to go out on top. You want to go out while the community's thriving. You want to keep it thriving and growing. You don't want that dip.
Right.
And I think the plan is 99% of it, and the generosity of someone like you to foresee that, you know, there's got to be a day. You want to still obviously be able to enjoy.
Hey, heck, I will volunteer here as a dedicated volunteer forever. But I think there's probably somebody out there, or somebodies out there, that aspire to do something like this, and I'd like nothing more than to help them launch with a lot of momentum and be successful.
What this chamber has built and done, and the integration, and it's just phenomenal. You guys have all done an amazing job. I know you have a big team here it's a small team, but
Amazing
it's not just
people.
you, right?
Oof.
It is more than you, and I think the team here follows from the leadership on making sure our Frederick economy is strong and friendly toward all businesses, and I think that's amazing.
So you know what I'll do? On your 100th episode, I'll talk about how you epitomize our metrics for success.
Okay.
You personally do.
I like this.
So there's nothing that inspires me more than watching a mid-career professional, whether by choice or necessity, have to grapple with, what does the next thing look like for me, right? And the people who can do that, and who have that passion and that energy and that focus and that dream, and they figure out the path, how to navigate the rocky road to success. That's literally, and I go back to names like Gail Guyton at Morgan Keller, Al Shockley at Shockley Honda, Don Linton at Linton Schaefer, Warfield and Garrett, Faye Cannon at Farmers and Mechanics Bank. These are the men and women that I think about who, for lots of reasons, had to make those course alterations during the course of their profession. And they became the bedrock foundation for the success that you and I are launching off of.
Yeah.
So the people who are following you and I see what you did, right? So an incredibly successful career as a mass media influencer. Faced with a change. What do? You think it through. You figure out how to convert that dream into reality. You pour all your heart and soul and creativity and energy in. 100 episodes. No ceiling on what you're going to be able to accomplish. Literally thousands of people are watching this dream become reality. and saying to themselves, you know what? I can do that.
Yeah,
I can do
hope
that
so.
too.
I hope a lot of people feel
I
that
can
way.
birth my idea,
Yeah.
nurture it, grow it, and I can do that just the way Dani has done that.
Yes, well, I certainly hope so. Well, on that note, my gosh, I'm going to shed a tear in a minute here. It's Rick Weldon, the president of our Frederick County Chamber of Commerce. If you're not a member, you should join and support all the great things that this chamber does for all of our businesses here in Frederick. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.